AITA for exchanging a child's gift for things for myself? I went to my friend's daughter's 10th birthday party and bought her a cute doll from a local store. It wasn't cheap. I showed up, wished her a happy birthday, and spent time chatting with people. When I gave the gift to the girl, she opened it, took one look, and threw a full-blown tantrum. She tossed the box on the floor, started crying and screaming. I just stood there awkwardly while her mom went to comfort her. The worst part? The mom didn't even apologize. She just said that her daughter was upset because she was expecting a baby alive doll, which is way more expensive, and gave me a weird look, like I was the problem. I felt super embarrassed in front of everyone, and the mom didn't even scold her kid for acting that way. I was pissed, but I kept my cool and offered to exchange the doll for something else the girl might like. At first, the mom refused, but after I insisted once, she agreed and told me to text her when I went to the store. Well, when I finally went, I was still so annoyed that instead of getting another toy, I used the store credit to buy chocolates, which I shared with my family, and a planner for myself. And I never mentioned it again. It's been a week now, and my friend hasn't brought it up. If she does, I'll just make up an excuse and change the subject. AITA. AITA for not crying when my dad died. My father recently passed away. He was the golden retriever in our family, so when he died, I decided to take that role. I cry my eyes out when people think I'm sleeping, but otherwise I desperately try to make sure nobody feels his loss. My mom, one of the people most deeply affected, keeps asking me why I keep laughing. She says she hates my smile and says that we are celebrating. Today we went to a Samsung service store, and she started crying when the clerk told her there was no way to hack into his phone without losing all of the data. She turned to me and screamed at me because I had tried to unlock his phone, and now she only has 6 tries until the phone factory reset. She said that I didn't know him like she did, and I shouldn't have tried to do anything. She called me worthless and slapped me. The car ride back home was her screaming and hitting me. I wasn't fazed. This happened quite frequently. Now I'm really sad and I don't think I can be the golden retriever anymore. AITA for not allowing my baby's dad in the delivery room after cheating. 31F. Been with my boyfriend for 2 years, currently 7 months pregnant, and found out he's been cheating on me. We've lived together basically since we met. He made me a stay-at-home GF since I found out I was pregnant. I've been completely financially dependent on this man. I played my role at home while he went to work. Always so thoughtful, caring, affectionate. I never saw this coming. I was in complete shock when I saw him come out of the same roller rink he took me with some girl. After he had also taken her to dinner that night. Also the same restaurant he took me on our second date. What sticks with me is that when I was confronting them and asked him why he did this to me, what about our life and everything we had together? Pointing at my stomach, he said, "We have nothing." I'm very distraught. I'm now forced to live with my parents with no money to my name. I feel he doesn't deserve to see his daughter born. I feel this is such an intimate and vulnerable moment, and he clearly disregarded my well-being by putting me through this. I don't want to regret it, but I also don't know if mentally I could be strong enough to have him there. AITA for not being able to give compliments to my girlfriend. My girlfriend, F21, and I, M21, have been together for over a year and have had multiple arguments over my inability to give compliments. I don't find her ugly or anything of that such. I really do think she is the most beautiful girl in the world. I just don't know how to put into words how I actually see her or how I feel and feel so awkward giving compliments in general to anybody. After the last time this came up, I tried giving her more compliments, but she told me recently she doesn't think what I've said are real compliments. I try calling her my pretty princess, pretty, gorgeous, beautiful, etc. She tells me I don't say it enough, but I feel like I'm genuinely trying to say it more. I tried talking to her about how I'm uncomfortable with giving, and taking for that matter, compliments, and that I try to show her my love and appreciation in other ways, but that just ended up making her more upset. Should I go see a therapist or something to figure out why it's so hard for me? AITA. AITA for leaving my date at the bar after she insulted my kids. I am AM26. About a month ago, I met a girl, Hope F25, at this gaming group I attend. We're just in the talking stage now, but I like her a lot. Something to know about me is that I am divorced. I have 2 daughters, 5F and 3F, and split custody with my ex. I have the kids every other weekend and on Wednesdays, Thursdays. I guess Hope didn't know I had kids, thought she 100% knew I was divorced. She and me were going to pub trivia last Sunday, and I just dropped the girls off at my ex place. I said something about it while we were ordering drinks, and Hope acted offended. She said she didn't want kids, fine, and never wanted to see or hear about mine. That's okay with me. Not everybody likes kids. But then she started getting very vulgar and calling them crotch gobbling and SX fruit and stuff like that. I nicely told her to stop or I'd leave, but she just kept going. I told her I was ready to go, and I canceled my drink and went home. We haven't talked since, and it's been almost a week. Our ITAH for leaving Hope at the pub when she called my kids crotch gobbling and SX fruits. AITA for not being 100% free the day after my mom's B-Day. Tomorrow, the 19th of March, is my 17F mom's 58F birthday. Tomorrow she has a gymnastics program, so she doesn't want to do anything. I am totally free tomorrow because I kept it empty to spend time with her, and I also told her I could skip school. She insists on saying that she doesn't care and doesn't want to celebrate tomorrow. She doesn't even want me to tell her happy birthday. She then says that the 20th would be so perfect, and I tell her I'm free but only in the afternoon since I have some important topics in school that morning. I get out of school at 1 p.m., so I literally have all the afternoon. I also have a test on the 21st, but I told her I could study everything earlier so I could be free on the 20th to celebrate. She just said she doesn't want to take time out of my studies, even though I repeatedly told her I'll be fine this once. She has so many requests. She wants to have a full day with me. She wants the weather to be good. She doesn't want to have a gymnastics program on that day, and she wants me to be 100% free the days later so that she doesn't feel guilty probably. I get her requests, but I don't think it's fair that she gets mad with me. I made her a Christmas gift, and she brought it back to me saying, "Gifts don't matter if you don't spend time with me." I'm honestly so bummed out. Our family has a pretty long history of being horrible with birthdays, so I always get a lot of anxiety during those periods, especially my mom's. So, AITA? AITA for giving the baby my last name? So here is the dilemma. Me, 28F, and my boyfriend, 30M, have been dating for 3 years, but we are not married. Moreover, he proclaims that he doesn't believe in formal marriage and says it's a scam for men. Recently, we've had an oops and I got pregnant. And while it wasn't planned, we talked about children before and both wanted to be parents eventually. However, he wants to give the baby his last name, and I think that no ring baby gets my last name. Now he is saying that I am holding the baby's name hostage and pressuring him into marriage, and that I am an AH. So Reddit, am I? AITA for leaving my wife at a restaurant after she insulted me? My wife, 31F, and I, 30F, were at a restaurant to celebrate a big milestone in my career. I was talking about my career in voice acting, which I absolutely love, before she decided to insult me by saying, "You should be a mime instead so no one has to hear you talking anymore." My wife always makes a lot of jokes like these, basically insulting me, which I usually don't pay too much attention to. This joke in particular really hurt me because I used to be very self-conscious about my voice due to being bullied for years about the way I used to speak. So this hit me really hard. She also knows this was a hard point in my life, and it was very hard to get past it. After she said this, I just said, "Are you serious?" before standing up abruptly and walking away. I didn't tell her where I was going, but I drove to my studio and have been here for the past few hours. She has been blowing up my phone with calls and messages about leaving her at the restaurant to pay the bill. It was an expensive restaurant, and I usually pay for our outings as I make more money, and for leaving her stranded as I took the car when I left. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, as my wife always says, this is just her sense of humor, and I need to stop being a snowflake. But she is blowing up my phone calling me immature for leaving over a joke. Am I the asshole for leaving her at the restaurant?